Hi everyone and welcome to today's podcast along with a new video. I know it's been some time, it's been a while, but I am back and I want to continue to give you as much content as possible and to be able to pick up where we left off. I am just maintaining, guys, just doing everything that is supposed to be done and will continue to. So today I wanted to talk about Cardi B's Am I the Drama. I did talk about invasion of privacy in one of my previous episodes. You can be able to check that out. And along with a few other female rappers, you can look at them. I've looked at a lot of different albums and talked about them, throughout a couple years now. So there isn't anything that I haven't really talked about so far that we aren't going to not talk about in the near future. So yes, we are going to talk about Am I the Drama. Let's get into it. Am I the Drama is the second studio album by American rapper Cardi B. It was released on September 19th, 2025 by Atlantic Records. So it just came out literally almost a week ago from this video. And so my whole thing is, right? Well, it's been about 4 days. It's been a long time. 7 years is a long time. Before I even continue, because it says it serves as the follow-up to her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, 2018. Yeah, it's been a long time. And I just, when I look, so recorded September of 2019 up until February of 2025. So yeah, this stems even, 6 years back. You would have thought Money and a few other songs could have possibly been on there too. Could be on the deluxe, you never know. That's just how my mind works, where it's just like, if we gonna, have songs, we might as well put them all out, because why not? Because like, in an interview, she said she wanted to have a home for certain songs that we already are aware of that are on this album. And it's like, I can't blame her for that, because even with R&B and pop, there are certain songs that we say to ourselves, really? They held that? And it's like, yeah. And then, later on down the line, where we kind of say to ourselves, like, even if it's material that was for something else and then it's brought into a whole different project, hey. But the album includes features from Summer Walker, Selena Gomez, Kehlani, Lizzo, Cash Cobain, Lourdes, I think that's how you say it, Janet Jackson, Tyler, and Megan Thee Stallion. The album was preceded by the release of 2 singles. Its lead single, Outside, was released on June 20th, 2025, followed by the single Imaginary Players on August 15th. The former reached the top 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 27 on the Billboard Global 200. Safe, featuring Kehlani, was released on the same day as the album as the third single. The record also includes the US Billboard Hot 100 number 1 singles WAP 2020 featuring Megan Thee Stallion and Up 2021. The album was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. Upon release, Am I the Drama received positive reviews, with critics deeming it a strong return to form, highlighting Cardi B's lyrical delivery, rap flow, and honesty throughout the album. With criticism aimed at the album's perceived excessive length and the inclusion of previously released tracks. To promote the album, Cardi B will embark on the Little Miss Drama tour in 2026. The length of the album, it says 70 minutes, so that's over an hour. 3 singles, 2 we already know. I mean, we can't say she's not feeding, she's giving out. It says, following the release of Invasion of Privacy in 2018, Cardi B partly took time off to focus on motherhood and ventured into other forms of entertainment, including television and fashion. And she did, a few movies in the mix of all that too. Let me see. Featuring Megan Thee Stallion WAP was released on August 7th, 2020, and was followed by Up on February 5th, 2021. The rapper revealed that the album would shortly follow. However, the project was delayed multiple times, citing perfectionism and pressure to live up to expectations. And you know what? That's let's just say this, guys. That's any artist. As much as some artists may not be vocal about that, that is any artist. That is any person. That is any content creator too. Let's be all the way there. Because you say to yourself, I'm putting all the effort and work and I want to be seen. I want everyone to acknowledge this and that. And then this person just does one thing and everyone's just like, oh my God, yay. It is intimidating. It is threatening. Allegedly. Nah, let me stop. But anyway, no, it can be a lot to artists that may not always feel as though that's their truth, but it is, because you want to be the best. You want to show people that, you can be the best you can be. It ain't about anybody else. And I feel like that's what, this album was really trying to convey, to be honest. And why not? We've had, a lot of projects, throughout the years that have been just, given to us in a sense of, we trying to feel out what's good, what's not. And it's been a while since we've heard her. Arriving over 7 years after its predecessor, the project was recorded over a 6-year period and features collaborations with artists she has worked with before, as well as new collaborators. After sharing a teaser related to an announcement on June 22nd, 2025, the rapper officially revealed the album artwork and the release date the next day via social media. And by the Drama features 23 tracks, including WAP, Up, and the lead single Outside. The decision to include WAP and Up drew some criticism, to which Cardi B responded by tweeting that the songs were among her biggest hits and deserve a home, even though they were released during the album's creative process. Yeah, and then wait a minute. Yeah, starting with Money, 6 months after the release of Invasion of Privacy, the rapper released 12 more standalone singles and collaborations with her credited as a lead artist over the following 7 years, including the Billboard Hot 100 #1 songs WAP and Up. So yeah, that's what I was remembering, where I'm just like, she had like singles to keep us really just engaged with her throughout the years. And looking back now, she didn't even have to. You kind of say to yourself, well, if somebody took this long, and then, if all those singles was just kind of kept and it was just like a double album, that would have been even more impactful, because this is like, not only do we have all this music, you really kept a lot that we weren't. And then imagine the music videos that we did get for such singles that, were pushed in a certain way, and she kept all that. And then just to have it all be in this particular project right here in My The Drama. But I mean, that, hey, all I can say is it may have not worked for her. And hey, that's not a bad thing. And who knows? Like I said, she might even put some of those songs as deluxe. She returned in 2024 with Like What Freestyle and the top 10 single Enough Miami, which were intended to herald a new era. So even with these songs, Like What and Enough Miami, those were probably going to be on the album too. Shortly before the album announcement, she released the lead single Outside, which became a viral hit and earned her another top 10 placement on the Billboard Hot 100. So yeah, let me just look at the critical reception here. Yeah, received positive reviews from music critics upon release. According to the review Metacritic, she received a weighted average. So what does that mean? Let's yes, first of all, y'all, received generally favorable reviews based on a weighted average. Okay, yeah. So let's see. The weighted average arithmetic mean is similar to an ordinary arithmetic. Ah. See, I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Arithmetic mean, yeah. Either way, except that instead of each of the data points contributing equally to the final average, some data points contribute more than others. Okay. So in other words, there were 9 critic scores, and it was a 78 out of 100. So, out of 9 people, not even to try to do like precise math, if it's 78 out of 100, like close to 80, and there's 9 people, that means that most of the people was like yes. Maybe about 2 or 3 was like no. That's what it's given. Yeah, like 2 or 3 was probably saying no, or maybe 4. But it can't be 4 because it's at 78, so it got to be 2 or 3. Because that would mean that 7 or 6 people, liked it. Because if it's 4, then that would mean 5, and that would make it look like a 60 or something. So, yeah. Another review compiled 6 reviews and gave the album an average of 7.1 out of 10 based on their assessment. Okay, so so out of 6 reviews from a whole other review standpoint, they felt as though it was a 7.1 out of 10 from 6 people, which that would mean, it can't be half and half. So out of 6 people and there's 7.1, that means that, yeah, more or less 4 people liked it than 2 again. If it's gonna be 7.1, I mean, it can't be 3 out of 3. Well, 3, as opposing 3. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's just, reviews can be a bit dense sometimes, and y'all came for mine anyway. But anyway, yeah, there was let's look at the track list here, because she did win a Guinness World Record for most deliveries by UAV drones in 1 hour. That's never happened before. So, yep, went platinum so far as the commercial performance. So let's look at the track list. So track 1 is Dead featuring Summer Walker. This is actually one of my favorite songs. I love this song. She really was saying a lot in this song. And then Hello is track 2, same here. And that's another thing too, like with her intro when it came to Invasion of Privacy, the first thing you hear is her say look. You hear the piano, and then she just gets into rapping. This was different because you have a whole sense of like a newscast talking and saying a few things, and then you have Summer singing, and then she gets into the rapping. So it gives a bit more of a welcome on this intro / song opener, if you will, because before it was just, she just jumped right in, and I feel like that's what made it so impactful even then, when it was just like So yeah, track 3 is Magnet. I feel like Magnet is, listen, and by the way, there are writing credits for every single song with her, just so y'all know. Hold on. Yeah, so Magnet, getting back to that. Magnet really, she was popping her shit. Like, why not? Like, I feel like, and that's what it was when it came to Imaginary Players 2, which we'll get to, because Pick It Up, which is track 4 with Selena Gomez, it's a good song. It's a poppy song, and it's very sweet. I like the it's cute. I like it. But where it comes from, the sense of track 3, which is Magnet, and then track 5, which is Imaginary Players, not to try to, rush into either track here. So we're just going to stick with Magnet first, track 3. Magnet literally was just her just kind of, it's already letting us know, in the rest of the album, she's going to be saying some more stuff because I'm just getting started, okay? Clown ass bitch. I just, oh man. Yeah, we've always heard her be more commercially like putting out songs and saying things, and we just, like I said, it's just been a while since we've just had a lot of songs from her, even if they're older or more recent. We just haven't had a lot of her to put into a project. Yeah, and as far as Imaginary Players, same thing. Like, there's the, sense of I'm a bad bitch. Not even a sense, she's come a long way. It's been, going on 10 years, if not has been, from her presence as far as Instagram, and even just Love and Hip Hop, which is still, showing here and there, on whatever streaming, app you decide to watch it on, it's on there. But, even just with her saying, I'm past that. And even before that, y'all knew who I was. And that's what we get into, track 6 with Bodega Baddie. And it's really a short song, but it's really catchy. I love the vibe. I love the fact of just her, to me, it's not even a sense of it being like part 2, do I like it? It's just, it stands on its own. Like, it's just its own, but dang, back. Like, it does its own thing. It's its own song. Even though there is references, okay? Just to get people, clued into the fact that you can, this can be back to back. You can listen to both albums back to back. Why not? But Salute, track 7. She just letting people know, like, nah, like, I've been out here. I've been really, out here doing things with children, with a marriage, without a marriage, a new man, whatever the case may be. I'm out here, and I can't blame her. I can't blame her. It may not be, favorable on how the choices are made, but I mean, if there's still art being made in some form, I mean, I'm not going to take that away from any artist. However, maybe, in her next album, it'll be even more of a sense of just like her taking things even further, like just her just being even more of like, now that I've got a lot out of my chest, I want to really have fun. Like, now, I want to, there's just more that she probably just wants to do, and probably just this was just her album of really just being like, I'm back, and why not? Yes, as far as with track 8 being Safe, yeah, featuring Kehlani, it's a great song. I love the fact that they've always collaborated, and even down to just the essence of the songs that they've made, where they're mirroring each other in a bit of a like sisterhood, like, it's not like you can listen to Ring and Safe and be like, oh, even though they sound like, it went from a slumber party to like a conversation in a cafe, since Janet's on here. But it's just, it's just, you get it. But yeah, track 9 is Man of Your Word, which is pretty much straight to the point. It's just her addressing, what she's been through in a relationship, and marriage. And, I can't say that she's wrong. I can't say that she's wrong for being able to just say how she feels and express herself, because he is. And it's not about any sign, whether he's a Sag or anything, any sign. When people do people how they want to do people, unfortunately, it may not be right. And I can't say that I'm, knowing all of how people will be, but just know that when you find the right people to be around, or the right person, you cherish them, you appreciate them, and you value them all the time. You never turn it off. But yeah, that's the point of Man of Your Word. Where just like, you know, you said this, but you're doing this. Okay. So yeah, track 10, What's Going On, featuring Lizzo. Pretty much the same, you know, same type of understanding, you know, and I do like Lizzo's voice in here. I do. I said, hey. She's so silly. But, well, she's not silly, but you know what I mean. Like, I love her voice. I love just their sisterhood, too. They've made a song together for Lizzo as well, you know. But, track 11, Shower Tears, featuring Summer Walker. So I wanted to say this, and you know, this is for the Summer Walker fans. Um, there's a sense of, like, the cadence of You Don't Know Me. Um, and please let me know if you guys hear that too. Whereas you guys will know what I mean in the lyrics when it comes up. But if you listen to You Don't Know Me, it's like uh you guys, great song. I like Shower Tears. It's a good song. I like the melody too. And then there's Outside, which is track 12, which you know we've heard Outside all throughout the summer, but still it's a good song. I like it. I don't listen to it like every single day, because you know I be inside sometimes. Okay, you know it's all right to be inside too. You ain't got to worry about nothing, not getting into no problems either. But yes, track 13 is Pretty and Petty. And you know what? Why not? You got a few people talking about you, going online saying this, saying that, and you can go ahead and put it in a song and let these girls know, don't play with me. Why not? Everybody else doing it in their own way. Why can't she? And I know people say, oh, well, you know, if she's not fully... I wish I had a pen right here, okay? I think there's a pen somewhere. Well, if she's not writing... well, I mean, she is writing. There's a lot of artists, even down to the greats, who may have had a sense of having songs that they may have used and just had inspiration from and collaborated with. It's okay. It all happens in different forms. But I feel as though everyone can have their opinion, and I respect it all. But yes, as far as with Pretty and Petty, she said, "You from Boston?" And I'm just like, "Oh, she said my city." Listen, I'm, you know, and I don't, you know, Massachusetts is Massachusetts. We're our own state, but like, it just felt nice that Cardi was talking about Boston. You know, everybody be talking about New York and all these other places, but you know, it's just not to say that she was saying it. She said talking about a tea party, yeah. But I liked that. I liked that bar, only because I, you know, again, I'm from Boston, but I'm not like that person. Not everybody like that from here. Okay, that's its own thing. That I ain't got nothing to do with that. But all I know is I love the bar in the sense of just her just saying Boston, just her saying the word. Just shoot, come out here. I think she is, but I would love to see her. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like me to see her, and I could possibly just, you know, get some footage. Why not? Yes, track 14, Better Than You, featuring Cash Cobain. Better Than You. I like that song. Track 15, On My Back. I see James Harris and Terry Lewis. They approved it. So yes, Janet does own the song Funny How Time Flies. But they are the, you know, in other words, conversation in the cafe, yes, we approve. We like, yes, it's okay. Okay? Because the money got a money around here. Why not? So, track 16 every time. But not even to get off the sense of track 15 on My Back. I do like the melody. I do like how it sounds. Track 16 every time. I like that song too. I do like that song. Track 17, Check Please. Yeah, straight to the point. You know, I like Check Please. Track 18, Principal, featuring Janet Jackson. Though there may not be new vocals, however, I do love the sense of just the beat, just everything. And if you are a Janet fan, you can remember where Janet was dancing to Bodak Yellow back on tour. And this was before I was able to first time see her for myself on tour for the State of the World tour. Okay? So Janet was already in love with Cardi. It just, there had to been a time where it was gonna work. Okay? But yes, Janet was already talking about a little bitch. She was on there. She was doing her, you know, she was dancing to it. So, yeah, hey. So, y'all know it stems back to there. That's why if people was like, Janet Jackson, like, yeah, no, Janet likes her. She do. And she liked Lizzo too. And they were just together. Well, loves them, I should say. Track 19, Trophies. Yeah, Trophies is a single that I know for certain we was gonna possibly get, but it just had to be held back, and good thing it was. So now we can hear it in its entirety. So for those that had like Trophies and was like, we need Trophies, it's on here. Track 20, Nice Guy, featuring Tyler. I don't know if this was probably made in 2022 or 2023. Maybe it was recent, but it's just given that it, you know, it is a, you know, as recent, but still kind of like not. But I'm not opposed to it because it is still a good song. Track 21, Killing You Hoes. To be honest with you, I was surprised by this flow and the beat. Dun, 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 dun. And I was just like, oh, okay, I like this. This is not bad. And you know what? It made me feel as though this was definitely like 2020, like 2019, like. And it was giving that vibe, and I didn't mind that. And then there's track 22, Up, and then there's track 23, WAP, featuring Megan Thee Stallion. So as far as for the track listing, and I'm gonna say this because I don't know if anyone else has said this, but I'm gonna say this so y'all know I said it. When you reverse the track listing, it seems like it's in order. Like when you look at the track listing, it looks like the order of how everything would have been possibly made. And I'm not opposed to it because it kind of tells its own story in the end. Like if you go from WAP all the way up to Dead, it's like, okay, this makes sense too. So even if you want to listen to it from the back going forward, it still makes sense. It still lets you know, like, I'm back. But yes, you guys, with it being still very early on how well it's going to do as far as #1 and all that other great stuff, this is why I made the video the way that I did, so you guys can be able to see it and know that when it, you know, shows its, you know, sales and updates, we'll be able to know from there. But I thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I truly appreciate it. It has been a while, and I will be on Patreon and Spotify doing exclusives as well. I did make sure that everything would be cohesively put together as far as topics and everything like that. So I thank you so much for watching again, and I will be back with more.